certified professional trainer in Verilog HDL. She has worked on a lot of protocols like I2C, UART, PCI Express, USB 3.1, and many more in VLSI domain. She will be today enlightening us on the topic design and simulation of digital circuits with Verilog HDL shortly. Let me welcome her to start the webinar. Priyadarshini ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Is my voice audible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am, it is very clear.
Yes.
Okay. So first, all of you knows my name, myself Priyadarshini. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Banya Arun, the HOD of the department ECE IILM College, for providing me such opportunity. And special thanks to you, Dr. Asta ma'am, for your effort in coordinating this session. And lastly, to thanks all of your students for having interest in this webinar. Okay. So, so all of you know the title of this webinar, right? Hello.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay, ma'am. Let me first share my screen.
Okay.
Okay. Can means I hear the students' voice also, or their videos have been muted?
You can, but
Yes,
right
we
now,
can have their videos.
students, please reply whenever ma'am asks you any question, okay? Reply and mute your mic.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, fine.
Ma'am, are you able to share your screen?
I guess so. Let me can try. Screen. It's saying host disabled participant screen sharing.
What it is saying?
Like host has disabled participant screen sharing. Like you may have no, like host is the greater Noida room. Maybe he has disabled these things.
No, let me try.
In setting, we have to look it.
एक मिनट रुको.
Okay.
I am the host.
Yes, ma'am.
You are, or it's showing like Greater Noida room 7. It's you.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay, then you are the host.
Allow participants. Okay, now you can share.
Okay, thanks. Oh, now I guess it's visible, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so before starting this, okay, I would like to know like from the students, like how much knowledge they have in these things. Okay, like there are so many words now: design, simulation, digital circuit, Verilog, HDL. First, we would go one by one. Okay, anyone have any idea about what is this Verilog HDL?
Any student can volunteer to answer.
Yes, whoever knows anything. It's not like that. I say your semester exam, you have to answer correctly. Okay, you can say anything, whatever comes your mind, right? So anyone have you ever heard this word like Verilog?
Verilog. No, yeah, no, ma'am, I did not hear it before.
Okay, what is this Verilog? And why we should learn this Verilog language? Like being a EC student, like you should learn this Verilog language. Why it is required? Okay, so let me answer these things. Okay.
I think so. Your value-added classes are also going on.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, we are learning LT Spice and that thing.
Okay, in that LT Spice, you must be doing works with analog like transistors, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now in Verilog, we will move from transistor to gate, like from analog to digital level. Okay, so first of all, let me say these things like why we should learn Verilog, what is the advantage of these things. Okay, see, first of all, like being a electronic student, you must have interest in going to core companies. right? And nowadays core companies means semiconductor industry in a growing stage. Okay, you must be hearing this news like due to this corona, so many companies from Japan, US, South Korea, they are planning to move their company from China to India, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So see, in like after 6 or 7 months, na, there is a huge chance that there will be huge vacancy in this industry, semiconductor industry. So before that, like if you're interested in going to this core industry, first thing you should learn is digital electronics. Secondly, this Verilog. This Verilog is very important. Next, also there are so many things that you have to learn, but basics is first digital, then Verilog. Okay, so next step, see, if you are going into a VLSI company, what is the benefit? First thing, you will be working in core, like whatever the things you have studied in digital or analog, you are going to implement these things. So you will be enjoying this job. First thing. Second thing, coming to salary, okay, there are different type of companies. Like see here, so list of companies are there. Some list I have written here. The left sides are product based company. Okay, so as a fresher, if you are going to their company, like even as a fresher you are going, they will pay you a good amount. Now the companies are right side are startup companies. It's like if you are going to there maybe from first 1 year 2 year, they will pay you less, but after having 2 or 3 year experience now, like whatever the salary you will demand, they will give you. An average 3 year experience VLSI engineer salary is 10 to 12 lakh. And this much high salary is like you go to software industry or any other industry, they don't provide this much of salary. Okay, so like you can guess the advantage. Firstly, you will be working on your interest. Secondly, you will be getting a good salary also. Okay. So next, in this VLSI, there are two things. One is this front end development, and another is this back end development. Right now, you have said like you are studying some LT spice of things. Okay, these things comes under your back end design. Are you guys getting me, or I am going a little bit speed?
You're all right.
See, if you are facing any difficulties like you are not understanding, you can rightly stop me there and ask me whatever you want. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So first front end development, back end development. So you may have the questions like in which way we should go, front end and back end. Okay. So it's again up to your interest. See, if you have interest in digital circuit, then go for front end. In the front end, you will be working with digital electronics. And if some of you has interest in CMOS, transistors, transistor delay, rise time, fall time, all these things, then you can go to backend. Okay. So again in front end, if you are joining as a fresher, they can put you in the design part and they can put you in the verification part. What is this design and what is this verification? I will tell you later. But if you have, tell me.
Ma'am, I had one question, ma'am. Is that front end and back end development, ma'am, are these two lines totally distinct and different?
Totally different. See, I will tell you the total flow, like how works are done in VLSI industry. There you will clearly understand what is this front end, what is this back end. Okay, these two are totally different things. I will tell later, keep patience. Okay, so now if you have good knowledge in digital design and Verilog, then you will be going as a design engineer. Okay, now if you have with Verilog, if you have system Verilog and you have this knowledge also, you can go as a verification engineer. Means whether design or verification, you have to learn Verilog and digital. And see, in India, mostly verification engineer have more vacancies than design engineer. Okay, because in India, like designer is not done that much, but verification is done, verification projects. So like if you have time and you are learning this system Verilog and UVM also, it's good for you. But as a fresher, digital Verilog is required. If these things you don't know, then no company will hire you. Okay, and by digital electronics, don't think like whatever you have studied in the semester, this much is going to help you. No, you have to learn so many things in digital. Okay. So next, This VLSI. Here there is a term I have used VLSI. Here also I have used a term like VLSI. So anyone knows like what is this VLSI? Anyone, just if you know the full form also, then it's okay.
Very large scale integration.
Yes, correct. So very large scale integration. So what do you mean by understand this large scale integration? Okay,
Right.
before, tell
Actually,
me.
these are designing scopes which are trending in industry. Like before it was micro something, then it is slowly increased.
Okay, so before
I read
answering,
somewhere.
okay, so before me answering this question, okay, let me show you some pictures. Okay, see this picture. The left side picture is the first computer with only 5 MB hard drive. 5 MB hardly you can store one or two picture. Okay, one or two photos, like, and see the size of the computer. And the right side is the nowadays laptop with 1 TB hard drive and many more efficient, like from the first computer. So can you guess anything? What are the things changed from the first computer to latest computer?
Size, man.
Size has decreased, efficient has increased.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct? Similarly, see this one. This one is the phone like in 1980, and this is the phone nowadays. You can say, ma'am, here size are same. Okay, I agree with you. Maybe size are looking same. But just think about the efficiency. Here, for the first like 1980 mobiles, we are using only for communication. But nowadays, mobile means everything you can do by your phone, like photo, video, picture, talking, net, WhatsApp, anything. So many things you can do by your phone. So even if size is same, but efficient is increased, right? Now look at this picture. This is the first camera. Again, you can see that how many amount of size has decreased. Okay, so now this VLSI, now I'll explain. VLSI means very large scale integration. So first thing, what do you mean by scale integration? Scale integration means in my IC, I am going to increase my number of transistors, right? Like let initially in some X amount of area, number of transistors are used is 10. So after some years, this 10 will be increased like to 100, 1000, but area will be same. Now you understood what do you mean by scale integration? Means integrating more number of transistors into a IC. You understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now there is a term like very large. Okay. So now depending on this number of transistors, okay, we have divided like these things. SSI, MSI, LSI. See, you can see like small scale integration. Here number of transistors were like 10 to 100. Then comes medium scale integration 100 to 1000. Then large scale integration 1000 to 10,000. Like this, VLSI means very large scale integration. Here number of transistors in one IC can be 10,000 to like this amount of 1 lakh. Okay. You are getting my point?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. Anyone have any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So now see, in nowadays also like there are some things like EVLSI, GSI also. Okay. See, can you say me like how you are going to increase my number of transistors in same IC? Have you studied like MOS, metal oxide semiconductor?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now increasing the number of transistor means decreasing the size of the transistor. And how can we decrease the size of the transistor? By decreasing the gate length of my MOS. Okay,
Yeah, ma'am.
you know these things, right? There will be after some years now, there will be certain point after which we cannot decrease the MOS size further. Because if I'm going to decrease that, my drain and source will be short circuited. At that time, what will I do? We will go from some other materials like that other components that with same size, but there will be very much great current or great voltage, means same size but efficient will be more. Because if we are going to decreasing the size and size and size, the drain and source will be short circuited. At that time, this will be of no use. You know these things, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you are only in which year, 4th year or 3rd year?
Second year.
You are in 2nd year students. Then you have studied this MOS, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this, whatever the things I'm saying, you know, this is back end engineer. Okay. Back end engineer means like they will think like this: how can I decrease my transistor size? Okay. How much area should I take so that my overall area will be optimized? These things. So now there are some scientists like named More. You have must heard this name, Moore's law.
Yes,
Can
ma'am.
anyone tell me what is this Moore's law?
Actually, it defines the scale of the the circuit we are like building today. After a certain point, this scale will there is a limit to it.
Yeah, actually first Moore's law was like that. Within every 20 months, or you can say 2 years, the number of transistors are going to be doubled. Like if I'm using like X number of transistors in one IC, after 2 years in the same IC, number of transistors is going to be 2X. But whatever you said, like after some time there is a limitation. We cannot go on decreasing our size. So at that time, instead of this MOS, we will go to some different elements. Like nowadays we are moving to FinFETs, because FinFETs have more advantage than these things. Okay, so we'll discover more things and we'll move on to that things. So again, this is in analog part. Okay, now next I will tell you like what are the flows. Okay, how like in VLSI industry people are working. See, this is the VLSI design flow. See, there are like so many terms like synthesis, verification. Okay, don't get afraid by looking at this term. I will take one example, simple example, and I will explain. Okay. So first thing, what is the specification? Okay. So let some company decided that I will design a mobile. Now it will do a survey of people's like what are the things people need: camera quality, sound quality, video quality, and if any other things they need. Okay, so according to this customer's demand, they will prepare a specification. In that specification, they will think we need these things. Our power dissipation should be this much, area should be this much, and speed should be this much. You all got my point? What is specification?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So now after we got this specification, okay. So like second step, this is done by like some 10-12 experienced people. Okay. Now this specification, they will convert into architecture design. Okay. See, there they will write this in a behavioral level of coding. This can be some algorithm level, some C type of coding. Okay. Like if we are going to read these things now, we are not going to read this history, like whatever the specification has described. We are going to read this architecture design. There they have noted the important points, okay, in a document, and that is known as your architecture design. And the specification, this would be like some, if let 40 to 50 pages, then architecture design will be like some 20 to 25 pages. Okay, there will be written some algorithm level or using some C language. These things has written. You got like what is architecture design? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You got it.
Hello,
Okay.
ma'am. Ma'am, Garima here. All third year and second year students are already doing VHDL coding.
Okay.
They all know about behavior, data flow. They are doing it nowadays.
Okay.
In value added classes.
Okay, I will come to that things also. Like VHDL, again, why Verilog? I will explain you these things also. Okay.
Yes, ma'am, but nobody is questioning here. That's why.
Okay.
See, we have questions.
Oh, you can ask.
They should
me.
have
I told
questions.
you,
Here.
See, it's not like that. If I am only speaking, it will be boring. You all, whatever doubts you have, even VHDL, digital, anything, analog, whatever comes to your mind, ask me. Okay, no problem. See, in that VHDL, I will say to
Students, please try to interact with ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So first of all, I just say to these things. What is this Verilog VHDL? Just wait for 5 to 10 minutes, then I will explain. Like if you are learning VHDL, then why again Verilog? I will say these things. Okay. So first, next it's come to RTL design. So whoever learning VHDL, please tell me what do you mean by RTL? I want to hear from you. Anyone? What is this RTL? No one.
This session we have arranged for students, especially second and third year.
Okay.
So we expect key students should answer it. If they are not able to answer it, that means that's why she is introducing the subject with all the background.
Okay.
So we can appreciate that also. If you don't know, you can ask her.
Okay, no, I will explain these things, but as Madam Garima said, like they already know doing VHDL, so learning some VHDL means they should have knowledge these things. So that's why I'm asking. Even if you have forgotten, it's okay.
Yes,
I will tell
definitely.
you. Okay. So now from this RTL design onwards, I will take a simple example of 4-bit adder and I will explain. Okay. So now let someone have asked you design a 4-bit adder. You know what is adder? Adder means that will add two numbers. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So now 4-bit adder. So what will you do? You will write some code like either in VHDL or in Verilog. Correct. Now that code is known as your writing that code is known as your RTL design. The full form of RTL means register transfer logic. How data are transferred from one register to another register. After some time, like a half an hour, 45 minutes, I will do an example. There I will tell you what is this RTL. Okay, for now, just remember RTL design means I gave you to write, I need a 4-bit adder. So what will you do as a VLSI engineer? You will write the code of that adder. So now writing that code of the adder is known as a RTL design. Okay, now I have completed the design part. Next, whether my circuit is working properly or not. How will I check it? Anyone can say like how am I going to check an adder, whether my adder is working correctly or not. You are doing LT spice also, na? In that spice you will be doing AND gate or gate like this. So whether your design is working or not, how will you know this?
Stimulation.
Exactly. Stimulation means you will give some input and check the output, whether you are getting the desired output or not. Okay. So RTL verification means now a 4-bit adder is ready. In 4-bit adder, two inputs are there. So now I will give randomly two inputs like 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 4. Okay. At the output, I will check whether I am getting my required result or not. Let at the input, I am giving 3 and 4. And at the output I am getting 10. Is my circuit correct?
No, ma'am.
3, 4 should be 7. I am getting 10 means verification is not done. So now here verification engineer, what they will do, they will go to means they will say design engineer that we are not getting the proper output. You made some changes in the design. Then again design engineer will do the changes. Now when at the last stage verification engineer will say okay, now it is verified, then both design and verification part completed. Okay, so as a design engineer you are going to design your code, same code will be verified by verification engineer. Okay, so now next go to synthesis. Anyone have any idea what is this word synthesis?
The code to I'm changing the code to gate level design.
Exactly. Synthesis means I have written a code. Okay. Now this is the point where your Verilog language is different from your C. See, this Verilog now it is known as a HDL, hardware description language, and it is totally different from your programming language. In your programming language, you simulated, you check the output. Yes, output is coming. Then great, I'm done. But here you are not going to these things. In the synthesis, whatever the codes you have written, are you able to convert that code into a gate level, or are you able to convert that code into a hardware? If so, then synthesis is okay. If you are not able to do this, means this is the wrong, you have to again change your design. Now all of you understood like what is this synthesis? And let me, if someone is asking like how this Verilog is different from your C language, what would be your answer? Anyone can say? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Now tell me how this Verilog is different from your C language. See, let me tell you one more time, because see, if you are going to interview, it's not like you just learn the language, you can able to write some course and you are perfect for engineer. No, you have to understand like what you are doing. Like you are going for the interview, someone is asking you how this Verilog is different from your C++ language, because syntax wise they would have similar syntax. Whatever the syntax in C, similar syntax will be in Verilog also. But how they are different? The difference is that if I am writing a C code, I am just bother about my result, whether I am getting the correct result or not, means simulation result. But in Verilog, I would check my simulation result as well as my synthesis result. Whether whatever codes I am writing, am I able to convert that code into a hardware? If I'm not able to do this, then what is the point of writing? Let you have written a adder code and you are not getting to convert it to hardware, then how will I make IC from it? Are you all getting my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
I see all of you know Hindi language, like if in between I say some Hindi words, you can understand, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
ओके सी लास्ट में क्या करना है मुझे, जो भी तुम एडर ले रहे हो ना उसको चिप बनाना है, लेकिन अगर सिंथेसिस ही मेरा नहीं हो रहा है, मैं चिप ही नहीं बना पा रही हूँ, तो वो कोड लिख के क्या फायदा, समझे? So next we'll go, okay, so now there is a DFT. See, one is verification and DFT means design for verification test. Okay, यहाँ पे क्या होता है, once synthesized is done, see, up to here front end engineer, after that it will go to back end engineer, like it will convert it to get level netlist, after get level it will be converted to transistor level, then it will go to back end engineer. Okay, and they will try how can they minimize the area, like how they place the blocks so that minimum area, minimum power will be consumed. Okay, so from core plant to chip, all these are back-end design. Up to synthesis and DFT, it is front-end. Now, what is the work of this DFT engineer? See, once like this fabrication part is done, when sign-off is done, I will tell one by one what is these things. But when like let everything is okay, then they will check. Yes, we are doing everything on the system. It's okay. After fabricating, whether it is working or not. सी मैंने एक चिप बनाया जो कि सिस्टम में मेरा काम किया, डिजाइन हुआ, वेरिफिकेशन हुआ, एवरीथिंग इज ओके, बट आफ्टर डिजाइनिंग दैट चिप, fabricating that chip, it is not working, then who will buy that chip, right? Okay, so now what DFT engineer will do, after fabrication they will not go for a mass fabrication, they will be fabricating like 100 to 200 chips. Okay, that chip they will bring it and they will test it physically. Now what is the difference between this RTL verification and this DFT? In the DFT you have your chip, in that chip you are going to practically give your input, get your output and check that output. But in verification, all you are doing in the system, you have designed some code in the software only, you are providing the input, checking the output. समझ में आया like for this verification and DFT difference?
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
so now okay, if as a fresher you are going to see like there are some tools, like some tools available from where you can learn design and verification. बट DFT एनीवेयर इनको किसी के पास चीप नहीं होगा, तो मैं DFT में क्या होता है प्रैक्टिकली दिखाने के लिए. सो अगर इफ एनीवन इज इंटरेस्टेड इन DFT, देयर इज सम थ्योरीज you should, as a fresher, right, you should have knowledge on that theories. After you get into the industry, first definitely they will put you either design or verification. Like after some 6 months, 7 months, like they feel this student can grasp the DFT concept, then they will teach you DFT and they will again place in the DFT. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So now after this floor plan, see this floor plan, placement, CTS means your clock, tree synthesis, routing, all these are comes under your analog part. Okay. Floor plan means again they will plan like how I will place. Like there are 4 to 5 blocks. How can I place my blocks so that it will consume less area? See, 4 to 5, I'm just saying like this. Practically, if you're doing a designer, there'll be like 500, 1000 of blocks. Now you have to arrange that blocks in such a way that they will consume less area. Placement also, like, hello?
Yes,
Are you
ma'am.
able to hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Now placement means now you have placed the blocks. Next, how you are going to place your input output. Let some तुम्हारे पास एक ब्लॉक है ब्लॉक A and input output input A input B वो ब्लॉक A को जा रहा है और एक है ब्लॉक C input M input N वो तुम्हारा ब्लॉक C को जा रहा है. So there they will decide like how will I give my inputs so that less number of ORs used. OR means connection between a block and input. Less amount of OR would be used. Next comes your CTC, clock. See, there are certain type of algorithms. Depending on that algorithm, you will design like, yes, like this, my area can be minimized. Now there comes CTC, clock tree synthesis. How will, if this clock tree synthesis means na simple, how will I place my clock? Okay. And one more thing, na, in each and every step, na, like there would be some engineer, like if you have like 8 to 9 years experience and you are good at CTS, they will like put you in this department only. Don't do anything. Just check how can I place my clock so that my clock will work properly, area will be less. Like here also in design also you can be a design engineer and you can be a like there is a STL, static timing analysis, STA engineer also. That STA engineer, they will just check whether I am getting the proper output at proper time. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Then routing means here you are going to give your power lines, ground lines, these things comes under routing. Then sign off. Sign off means whatever the things steps you have repeated here, same steps you are going to means sum of steps you are going to repeat here. Then it will go for fabrication. This fabrication, this is not available in India. That's why less design projects are done in India. Okay. This fabrication maximum like Taiwan had a fabrication, China also had. So for fabrication, it will go to there. After fabrication, okay, they will do this DFT. If DFT it is passed, then they will go for packaging and testing. Packaging means your chip will be small size. After above it, a package will be there so that it should not destroy. And next, finally, your chip is ready. Now you guys understood this VLSI design flow.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, see, note this point. Okay, wherever you are going for VLSI engineer, they are going to definitely ask you this question. VLSI design flow. Okay, it's not like that you read from the net and you memorize, yeah, these are the steps, these are the steps. No, you should understand like what are the things are going to happen in this step. If I am omitting this step, then what will happen? Okay, and this is like it is less time, so I have just given some points, but there are so many things in it. Okay. See, whatever the things I have told you, same things I have explained here. Next, okay, like why digital? You say now you are learning some LSpice and T-Spice. Okay, we can design our course using these things also. But then why we are going to Verilog like digital circuit? So you must be knowing like what are the advantages of digital circuit above analog circuit? Hello? Yeah, what are the advantages of digital circuit above of analog circuit? This is like you must be started this in second semester, I guess. Anyone? What is the advantage of digital signals?
High accuracy.
Okay, okay. One thing. See,
more
you said
efficient.
high accuracy. Okay, it's correct. Can you explain me what do you mean by this high accuracy? See, if you are going, even if you are taking this course now and you are giving me this type of answer, I will not accept it. Simple thing, high accuracy, it is written in the book, you have studied it, it's okay. But what do you mean by this high accuracy? I don't know anything. You please explain me what is this high accuracy? Anyone?
Is precise.
I see. Okay, let me explain you. Okay. Let me ask you some, give you some example. I am taking an analog signal. What can be the values of analog signal? It can be 1 volt, 2 volt, 3 volt, 4 volt, 5 volt, 5.5 volt, anything, correct? If let my 2 volt, due to some noise, it becomes 7 volt, right? Can you guess, like 2 volt, it can be modified to 3 volt, can be modified to 3.5 volt, can be modified to 4.5 volt, if noise is added. Okay. So I cannot guess, right? If something goes wrong, then what can be that value? Now let's take for the digital circuit. Only 2 bits you are going to transmit, 0, 1, right? So if some noise happened, either 1 has become 0 or 0 has becomes 1. So now you said me in which case you can get accurate result?
Digital.
Digital. So that's why digital circuit has more accuracy. Let some noise is added. Okay, then 0 can be 1 volt. If with 1 volt some noise is added, no problem. It will be remain.
Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am. It's like 1:40, and we have scheduled it like for another like till 2:30. So if they can have see practical sessions, then it will be more useful.
Okay, okay, fine. I will tell. Okay, like this
Okay.
section is from 2 to 4, right?
No, it's from yeah 2 to it's 1 hour, 1 hour, and we are maximum. We have given half an hour more time.
Okay, I thought it's 2 to 4. Okay, no problem. That's why I was saying like this. Okay, so just give me some 10 minutes, just to discuss this Verilog things. Then I will give some practical example. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Is it okay?
Okay, sure.
Okay. So this is the one thing. Okay, like you said, high accuracy. Okay. Now there are so many also advantages like I have been noted here. Okay, due to this advantage, we are moving from analog to digital. And in digital, okay, some questions I have been noted, but I don't think I have enough time. So leave it, these questions, okay. Now, if we're going to Verilog means it's one type of HDL, hardware description language. Now, why do we need this? Okay, now see guys, you have studied LSpice, TSpice. I gave you design a full adder. If you are going to design it using LSpice or TSpice, you are going to the code.program in the left side, right? Okay, now if I asked you to do the design with Verilog, you are going to do the design with right side diagram. Now tell me, in the left side diagram, you have done some mistake. Like instead of VDD connected to VDD, you have connected to any other signal. How much time you will take to detect it? There are 20 transistors. You have to go and check each 120 transistors, right? But if I say same thing do with gates, there are only 5 gates, na? And it works with 0, 1, 1, 0. You can easily check it, correct? So this is the thing why we are going from analog to digital and from this SPICE things to our HDL. Okay, because it is easy to analysis, less number of components, and we have to write less number of codes also. Now in HDL also, okay, now I will give you examples, practical examples. In HDL also there are 2 types, one is VHDL, another is Verilog. First VHDL was invented, okay, but the thing is that nowadays VHDL is outdated. Outdated does not mean it is not used anywhere. In your defense system like DRDO, they are using this VHDL. Some companies now like Nokia for 5G operation, it is using VHDL language. Okay, but like 95% of companies will be using this Verilog. Why? Because this Verilog has much more easier syntax than VHDL. Learning VHDL is difficult, but learning Verilog is very easy compared to VHDL. Second thing is that for verification, you have to learn system Verilog. If you have learned Verilog, then it will be easy for you to learn system Verilog. Conversion from Verilog to system Verilog is very easy. So that's why nowadays Verilog is used mostly. Okay, now we should go from some practical examples. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so now see, here I will again tell you what is the synthesis, what is the simulation, like this. See, here is a, just a minute, you can see these things now. This is a Xilinx software. Okay, this software is used only for design purpose. Now here I have written the code previously. This is, see, simple half-order code. Code is only this much, 2 lines of code. But if you are going to write it in LSpice or TSpice, it will be, I guess, like 20 lines. Okay, so now as a design engineer, I have designed these things. Now I am going to first compile it. Can anyone send me what do you mean by compilation? Hello?
Ma'am, to check the.
Yeah, to check my syntax. Okay, in other way you can say that, okay, like whether my code is written according to Verilog guidelines or not. What will happen if it is not written according to Verilog guideline? See,
It will show error.
that will give you error. That is the other thing. See, whatever the codes I am writing here, my machine will not understand this code. My machine will understand only 0110. So now it's Xilinx tools work to convert this code into your machine level. If it is written according to the guidelines of Verilog, then only it can convert it to machine level. If you are not writing according to Verilog guideline, it will show you compilation error. That means my code cannot be converted to machine level language. Machine will not understand whatever you have written. Okay, now my check syntax is correct. Now see here, I am going to RTL schematic. That RTL I have told you, register transfer logic. Now see, this is the adder I have designed. This is the small code. That's why you know that yes, there is a XOR gate, there is a AND gate. Now, whatever the things I have written, my tool will automatically convert into a hardware. How? Just check it. It will take some time. Just wait for some time. Okay, let it run. Okay, so before going to these things here, I want to add some point. Okay. See, there is something known as a synthesis report. Like whatever the synthesis you are doing, there you can check. See, these things. Okay. Now it's started. Now see. You can check, right? One AND gate and one XOR gate. Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, now this is your RTL. Okay, see, this is a small code, so you know it. But if you are writing some big code, it will convert it in this gate level. Like either gate or mux or flip-flop, whatever it can do, using that component, it will generate the circuit. If let here, I am doing something, okay, I am adding some delay. This delay, it is not synthesizable. According to my compilation, it will not give any error. Because according to Verilog guideline, I can write the delay. But according to synthesis, I cannot synthesize my delay. So here it will give me synthesize error. That means I cannot convert this to a software, into a hardware. Okay. So now here there is something, your synthesis report. In this synthesis report, like if you are doing these things, you know about FPGA, field programmable gate
Yes,
array.
ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
So now what it will do, it will give you, like if you are using some FPGA, then how much area, see this is, how much area it is going to take in that FPGA. It will give you that details. Then what can be is your delay. See, here delays are written. How much can be your fan out delay? All these things are written here. So according to your specification, if you are not meeting, let here my delay is 1 nanosecond. Let my specification is no, I want 5 nanosecond delay. So what will I do? I will again go to my code and change it according to such that I can get this 5 nanosecond delay. Okay. Sorry, assign hashtag. Here I have, actually I should add this delay here. By mistake I have written it here. Okay. For VHDL language, which tool you are using? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
For VHDL, which tools you are using? Are you guys using any tools or you are just learning the theory part? Hello?
Ma'am, actually, now we are learning.
No, actually I'm not able to hear you clearly.
Some other person can name the software. Which tool you are using?
Which
I'm
software?
LT Spice.
What VHDL you are using LT Spice? I thought that the spice is for analog circuit, like for transistor, etc. Hello?
Okay, so might be they have just started, ma'am. Actually, this semester only we have started. So first step is with the LT Spice and then.
Okay, these things because no, see, as I have also worked with T Spice, P Spice, LT Spice. I guess these are the things like with analog circuit, transistors, registers, capacitors, these things.
Yes, true, very true.
Okay, let
so
me.
They've just started the journey, so
Okay,
they will be.
it's okay.
Yeah.
See, even if you don't have the tool with you, na, you can go to EDA Playground. There you can write your code and check it.
Okay, thank you, ma'am, for guidance. They will be doing it.
Okay, so now
can you repeat that one?
EDA Playground. Okay, I am writing here. Just check it. EDA Playground. Okay, you can write there your VHDL code and run it. I don't know whether VHDL is going to work or not because Verilog code works, but VHDL I don't know. But still, you can try it. Okay.
Sure, they will have to try.
Okay. So now here my design is completed. Now whether my design is working correctly or not, I need to check it, right? If it is not working correctly, then there is no point of writing these things. Now for checking my design, see, here I have given some input. 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Now I will check whether I am getting my correct output or not. So now I'm going to simulate this. This part is called simulation. If someone is asking you what is the difference between compilation and simulation, what will you answer? Right now I told what is compilation and what is simulation. See, one thing na, you guys should understand the things. You don't have to memorize. Like, yes, this is the definition of compilation, I have to memorize it. No, you just have to realize what is happening in compilation, what is happening in simulation. So now yes.
Basically, compilation is checking whether your code is written according to the software norms.
Okay,
and
correct.
whether it's right or not. And simulation is basically watching your output.
Whether if you're giving some inputs, whether you're getting the correct outputs or not. Okay, now see here it is in waveform. Can you see these things?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now here see I have given input 0, 1, 0, 1. So sum is 0. Sorry. here it is coming like whatever the output I am getting here, it is coming in the next cycle. Okay, so now here I am giving 0, 1. It will come after some delay, right? Now it is coming here. Sum is 1, carry is 0. Okay. So let's go to, you would like to see some other examples, or what would you like to do? Tell me, should I go for theory or go for some other example? Hello? Hello?
So students, you can tell what you want to see.
Like I
Okay,
should
they
go
would like
for-
to have another example, ma'am.
Okay, another example. Okay,
Yes,
okay. Let's open another example. Okay, you must be knowing the ripple carry adder and carry look ahead adder.
Yes.
CLA and RCA. So can anyone say me the difference between these two things? Like if first we have this RCA, then why we are going for CLA? What is the advantage of CLA? Anyone? Okay, let me tell you one thing. In your RCA, let my second full adder, it will work when it gets the carry from the first full adder. That means it is waiting for my carry. Means here delay is more. But in carry look ahead adder, it is not waiting for previous stage carry. So there my delay is less. Okay, now I will check it in this tool whether it is correct or not. Okay, so now this is the code for my RCA. Here I have written 1-bit full adder code, and here that 1-bit full adder code I have used 8 times, because in 8-bit full adder I need 8 full adders. Now I have written here 8 full adders. Okay, so now I am going to synthesize this. See, one thing that if you have interest in digital circuit, then these things that you will enjoy it. Means you will never feel like I am doing some course, I have to learn this. No, you will have automatical interest to do these things. Okay, now my synthesis is completed. I will check my RTL schematic. See. See these things. Here I have written what I have done. Have I written these things, these blocks, this much blocks? Here like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, take 16. 16 blocks are here. But in the code, have I written 16 blocks? No, I have just written one block code here, one block code here, and I have used that one block code 8 times. Now my tool is automatically converting to these things. And this is the optimized one. If I'm going to optimize my area more than this, then I will have to take the help of analog engineer. Okay, are you guys getting it? Because in this Xilinx, some previously they have made optimized NMOS, PMOS. Using that optimized NMOS, PMOS, they have implemented the gates. So according to that, it is optimized. If I'm going to optimize more than it, then I will go for analog engineer. They will decide how to decrease that gate length. Okay, so now here I want to check what is my delay. See this, all these things now, if you learn these things now, you will know like what are these things written here. Why this much things are coming, what is the use of these things. Here how much area is used. If you are going to download in FPGA, how much area it will take. Now this is my delay. How much delay is here? 12.7. Okay, so now note down this 12.7. Now I will go to CLA adder and I will check it. Okay. See here it is showing me. What is the delay it is showing?
0.5.
12.5. Okay, so now it is 8 bits, so there is 0.2 nanosecond delay. If I am going to increase more stages, then delay will automatically increase. Okay. Now see, in the theory you have studied these things. Now practically you have seen. It's interesting or it's boring?
It's interesting.
No, say me clearly. You can say boring also if you feel bored. No problem. Like I'm not your teacher. If you say me something wrong, I will cut your marks. Now let's take this CLA and check whether my adder is working properly or not. See here I have written code such that in the same cycle only I will get my output. Okay, now we can see whatever the inputs I am giving, I am getting some output. Now if this output is okay with your desired output, then your design is correct. Let here I am getting some wrong output. Then what will I do? I will again go to my design and check what are the wrong things I have been done. You guys get my point?
Yeah.
See, there are so many things, like this is the only combinational circuit. Okay, and this combinational circuit is like very easy. Next you will go to sequential circuit, and there you will face like difficulties, because in sequential circuit we have the clocks, and according to clock we have to do everything. Means okay. Now okay, so as we don't have that much of time, so these things I have already seen, you have seen in the example. Okay. Now lastly tell me, let's discuss about this course. Okay, first thing, see if like any other hello, any
Ma'am,
doubt? Yes.
right now students are giving very feedback like they want to have the extended session and all. So we
Okay.
can consider the time, I think so.
Okay, means
So
now or some time?
we have till 3:30 officially we have. So if within that time period we can.
Yeah, it's okay. I can see. Actually, I thought initially it is like 2 to 4, 2 hours.
Okay. Okay.
If I knew it's 1 hour, I would have been prepared like this. But no problem. I can sit like 3:30. No problem. If students are interested,
Yes,
I can have a
students are
discuss.
definitely getting very interested.
Yeah, I can have a discuss about with them, like what are the things they want to know. Okay. So first, see, like if you are taking this course now, like what I have seen in other, they will first go to digital. 1 month they will, like not 1 month, like 20 days they will teach you digital, then they will go to Verilog. But here in this this is a 6 week of course. In the 6 week of course, you will learn the digital and Verilog. You may have the question like this session is extended. Let me ask you a question. Okay. You may be thinking like, nah, I have studied this digital in the semester also, then why again in this course? Let me tell you, whatever the things you have studied in the book now, you have just studied it and given the example, given in the exam. But actually, what are the applications of these things, you will come to know in this session. Okay. Now let me ask you one thing. You all have studied mocks, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Can anyone say me example of mocks? I mean, sorry, use of mocks. Why we are reading this mocks? Why mocks is important? Okay, leave your word mocks. Okay, you have studied these gates, right? AND gate, OR gate, XOR gate. What are the uses of these gates? Any gate, can anyone give me the use of any gate, any one gate? See, this type of questions now, like if you're like after if you're taking this course now, after 6 weeks you will be able to answer all these type of questions. Like what is the use of AND gate? Why I'm learning this gate? One thing you can say, like in the digital, basic things are block. Basic block is my gate, so I am learning this gate. But see, there are uses of this particular gates also, and mostly used gate is your XOR gate. Okay, here I have a question. Okay, so please, I'm giving you like 5 minutes. Okay, try to solve this question. Okay. Okay, question number 3. This is only means question is like 4 lines. but it should be implemented only using one gate. OR gate, AND gate, XOR gate, XNOR gate, any one gate. So just read that question and try to answer. What will be this question? Answer of this question. See, in interview also na this type, they will give you a scenario. That will be scenario will be like 5 to 10 lines. They will ask for with this scenario, design me a circuit.
OR gate.
OR gate.
OR gate. Okay, why do you think OR gate will work? तुम लोगों को क्वेश्चन समझ में आया ना क्या है? लेट मैं क्वेश्चन समझाती हूँ. फर्स्ट फ्लोर है, ग्राउंड फ्लोर है, एक बल्ब है, उसका स्विच फर्स्ट फ्लोर में भी है, ग्राउंड फ्लोर में भी है. ठीक है, तो कोई भी स्विच यूज करके मैं बॉल को ऑन कर सकती हूँ, ऑफ कर सकती हूँ. तो मैं वहां पे कौन सा गेट यूज करूँ? लाइक तुमने कहा और गेट. ओके, सो लेट और गेट मीन्स इफ वन इनपुट इज 1 देन आउटपुट इज 1. करेक्ट?
Yes, ma'am.
दैट मीन्स अगर मेरा ग्राउंड फ्लोर में स्विच ऑन है तो मेरा बॉल ऑन ही रहा. मैं जाके फर्स्ट फ्लोर में स्विच ऑन करूँ या ऑफ करूँ उसको कुछ फर्क ही नहीं पड़ेगा. राइट?
Yes, ma'am.
तो ये तो स्विच काम ही नहीं कर रहा. स्विच मतलब कोई भी लाइट ग्राउंड फ्लोर हो, फर्स्ट फ्लोर हो, मैं ऑन कर सकूं, ऑफ कर सकूं, बट इसमें तो नहीं काम कर रहा है. सो और गेट कैंसल्ड. एनी अदर गेट? एनीवन? और ओके, हाँ, टेल मी. See, what I said you, don't fear. Whatever you know, even it's wrong, no problem. At the start, we all do mistakes. Okay, but one thing, whatever you know, say confidently. Even in interview also, if you are saying wrong and saying confidently, na, it's a plus point. Okay. In Viva also, you must be doing these things, right? XOR gate. Okay, why do you think XOR gate will work? Explain. It's not like you have some 5 to 6 gates choices, so you are saying one gate. No, I want to know what are you thinking when you are saying XOR gate. But your answer is correct. Okay.
You can tell the logic of
logic.
the XOR.
For ma'am, you can like I just remembered the truth table, so
yes,
so
correct. Okay.
use
You are
it from
correct. Let me explain this answer. Okay, XOR gate is correct. You can use XOR gate, and opposite of XOR is XNOR gate. It depends on you. Okay, now see here. Let I have two switch S0, S1. ग्राउंड फ्लोर में एक है, फर्स्ट फ्लोर में एक है. मैं एक्सोर गेट ले रही हूँ. तो एक्सोर गेट में क्या है? अगर दोनों सेम है तो मेरा ऑफ रहेगा, दोनों डिफरेंट है तो मेरा ऑन रहेगा स्विच. ना ग्राउंड फर्स्ट केस लेते हैं. ग्राउंड फ्लोर में 0 है. 0 है मतलब ऑफ है. लेट ग्राउंड फ्लोर में 0 है और तभी मेरा बॉल ऑफ है. मैं अभी फर्स्ट फ्लोर में हूँ. अगर मैं फर्स्ट फ्लोर का जो 0 है उसको 1 को चेंज करती हूँ तो मेरा स्विच ऑन हो जाएगा. ओके, नाउ लेट मैं अभी ग्राउंड फर्स्ट फ्लोर में हूँ, मेरा बॉल ऑन है. ऑन है मतलब आउटपुट मेरा 1 है. मैं अभी फर्स्ट फ्लोर में हूँ, फर्स्ट फ्लोर का स्विच भी ऑन है, मीन्स 1 है. नाउ मैं ग्राउंड फ्लोर से वो उसको ऑफ करना चाहती हूँ तो क्या करूंगी? ग्राउंड का जो 1 है उसको अगर मैं 0 कर दूंगी तो मेरा बॉल ऑफ हो जाएगा. यू गॉट माई पॉइंट? और मतलब समझ में आएगा? और एक बार एक्सप्लेन करूँ?
वो सेकंड पॉइंट फिर से कीजिए.
Okay, second point. Okay, so first you say me, let my ball is off. Ball is off means 0 condition. These two conditions. These two conditions means my S0 and S1 can be this condition, either 0 1 or 1 0. Let's take the second condition. मेरा फर्स्ट फ्लोर का स्विच ऑन है, बॉल मेरा ऑफ है. अभी मैं ग्राउंड फ्लोर में हूँ. मैं ग्राउंड फ्लोर से बॉल को ऑन करना चाहती हूँ तो मैं क्या करूंगी? जो मेरा S0 का स्विच ऑफ है उसको मैं ऑन कर दूंगी. ऑन करने पर कौन से कंडीशन में आ जाऊंगी? ये कंडीशन
1 1.
अब 1 1 है तो अभी बॉल मेरा क्या हो जाएगा? ऑन हो जाएगा. नहीं, 1 1 में 0 होता है. ठीक है, तो आइदर तुम ऑन को कंसीडर करो, ऑफ को. उस टाइम मेरा क्या था? ऑफ 0 था. ऑफ 0 था मीन्स एनेबल. नाउ ऑफ 1 हो गया मीन्स इट इज डिसेबल.
ओके,
तो यहाँ पे तुम आइदर ऑन केस को कंसीडर करो या फिर ऑफ केस को कंसीडर करो. दोनों साथ में मत करो, कंफ्यूज हो जाओगे. यहाँ पे अगर मैं चेक करती हूँ तो लेट बॉल मेरा एनेबल था 1 से, अभी बॉल मेरा डिसेबल हो गया 0 से.
ठीक है मैम.
अंडरस्टूड?
यस मैम.
Okay. See, there are so many, like, see, this is very small answers. Like, it's not a big deal, but questions will be like this. Now, can you design a XOR gate using 2:1 mocks?
No ma'am.
This is the, like, na, if you even you have 3 and 4 years of experience, na, still they will ask this question. Design basic gates using mocks. Design flip-flop latch using mocks. Okay, because mocks have some basic advantages above all other circuits. So that's why we are implementing every circuit using mocks. Do you know past transistor logic? You may not knowing these things, but we can design these mocks now using only 4 transistors. And if I am implementing all gates using mocks, means any gate I can implement using 4 transistors. But if I am taking the CMOS, for AND gate I need 6 transistors. But if I'm going through the mocks, I need only 4 transistors. So area decreases. So there are, tell me, ask me. Hello? Okay. So here is another simple question. Let me AND gate का 2 input है, 1 input unknown है. Like unknown है मतलब it can be 0, can be 1. So how can I guess my output? What will be my output? दिस इज द सिंपल क्वेश्चन. ओनली तुम्हें एंड गेट का ट्रूथ टेबल देखना है और मुझे आंसर बताना है. बताओ. हेलो, एनीवन? आर यू एबल टू हियर? सम नेटवर्क इशू. ओके. हाँ, हेलो.
हाँ मैम, अगर हम उस पे मतलब उसका अननोन इनपुट 1 है, अगर हम उसमें इनपुट में दूसरे इनपुट में 1 दे दे, अगर वो
करेक्ट. टेल मी. हेलो.
अननोन भी है मतलब है, जैसे दूसरा इनपुट जो है मैम आवाज आ रहा है मैम?
इज नॉट क्लियरली ऑडिबल.
रजत, अब आप बोल रहे हो, माइक पे थोड़ा यूज कीजिए.
मैम जैसे मैं अगर एक और दूसरा इनपुट 1 देता हूँ और आउटपुट अगर 1 आता है, तो मैम मेरा जो अननोन इनपुट था वो 1 है.
हाँ, करेक्ट. ओके, तुमने जो बताया वो सही है, लेकिन मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था ना, मेरा एक इनपुट अननोन है, तो मैं आउटपुट कैसे गैस करूंगी? तुमने ये बताया आउटपुट से मैं इनपुट कैसे गैस करूं, बट whatever you have understood, that is correct. Okay, so answer would be like that. Let my A input is unknown. I am giving B as 0. So B 0 means my output will be 0. Now if I am giving B 1, then my output can be 0, can be 1, means it's unknown. Okay. Okay, now I would like to tell something about this course. Like if you are doing this course, what are the things you are going to learn? See, first of all, how I will like to proceed in this course. This things module 1 means it will take 1 week. In 1 week module 1, in 2 week module 2, like this. In each and every class, after the end of each and every class, whatever I have taught you in that class, interview questions related to that class, plus some digital concepts. See, I will not waste your time in learning digital concepts. Right now, like you don't have colleges also, you are getting enough time. So, and you have only recently studied your digital electronics. So basic things you know. Now I will give you some examples. You have to try this at your home. If you're not able to answer that question, in the next class I will explain. And whatever the questions I have given you for that class in Verilog also, same questions I will discuss with you and I will provide the answers for you. Like at the end of this course, you will have like so many interview related questions for digital plus Verilog. Okay. So now this will be like things you are going to learn. Each and every module means it will take 1 week. Okay, now at the end of this course, okay, you will be given like 1 week of time to do some mini project. This mini project means like some protocols. Like as a fresher, if you are going, not fresher, even if I am also working like on protocols only. But for freshers, some simple protocol. While you have some experience, they will give you some complex protocol. So you should have knowledge on that protocols. And one more thing, you must be knowing traffic light controller, vending machines, these things, right? FSM, you know, finite state machine.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So you are going to do like some mini type of course on that in my lab session. After completing of the course, you are going to do some mini projects. Mini projects means that is the brush of your knowledge. Okay, like whatever the things you have studied. Like see, I have studied your data flow modeling and you are writing data flow modeling program. Behavioral modeling program. Now, if I gave you a small project, are you able to implement all that modeling style in one project? So for that only you will do this mini projects. Okay, you guys get me?
Yes,
समझ
ma'am.
में आया? Okay. So now see, this things na, like why this semi design is different from these things. Like you can ask any students. Okay, wherever like you can see the brochures of these things also. Like they will have some digital course separately, Verilog course separately. But here, Verilog and
Ma'am,
yes,
ma'am, we had a word with the founder of the
okay,
semi design,
okay.
and he has told us that the session will be totally like concepts. It won't be like promotional activity.
Okay, okay, then it's okay. No problem.
Because this is actually being recorded and it will be like
Okay, okay, fine.
might
No,
be
okay, okay,
uploaded.
fine. Okay. So this is the advantage like in the digital and plus Verilog, everything you will be learning here, first thing. And second thing, like when you will be completing your BTech, see, like as you are in second year, you are saying, so you have now 2 years of time. So you can prepare like Verilog, UVM and the system Verilog, everything. And when you are like passing out from your college, okay, they can refer you, give some reference for the company for interview. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So now that's all. If you have any doubts, then you can ask me. We still have 10 minutes left. Huh? You can ask me if any doubt, the doubt related to anything, but it should be related to electronics. Okay, don't ask me doubts on mechanical and civil, these things.
I mean, big companies like Intel, Nvidia, Qualcomm, like all they are like, ma'am, the
Okay, so
Verilog
let
is
me tell you
you.
one. See, this Intel and Qualcomm nowadays, like they are preferring like tier 1, tier 2 college students. Okay, so first step means their procedure is they will take your written test, then they will hire you. Now, if you are not belonging to this like colleges, okay, then third option is your go to a startup company. That startup company they will send you as a like client company to Qualcomm, Xilinx or Intel like this. And they let you have 3 years and 4 years of experience. Let 3 years, 4 years is so much. After 3 years, let's consider, and your performance is well, then there is a chance that you can go to that product company directly. But if you are comparing product company, once you get into that product company, na, you will not get a chance to learn new things. Means they will assign you some work like for 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, you will be working on that concept only. You understood?
So,
See,
ma'am,
if
is
you
there
want,
ma'am, is there a disadvantage like we will not learn new thing, but that product company
no,
has
that is
more
not a
value, ma'am?
disadvantage. See, what I'm saying, see, it depends on people. Let some people, yes, I am working on Intel Qualcomm. See, I have seen some of my colleagues like they are working Qualcomm, but they are not happy with their work. Why? Because they have gone there like some design engineer. See, like first 1 or 2 years, they will be asking you, do the regression test, do the documentation, like these things. But again, it's up to you. You can be happy with that work and can choose to do other works also. But if your college is coming under tier 1, tier 2 college, then you can get into that company. You may be saying like whenever there is some vacancy coming, this is like tier 1, tier 2 college as a fresher. But if you are having like 3 years of experience and you have that much capabilities, then you can go to direct there. No problem.
Okay.
Okay, any other doubt?
Any other student want to ask? Ma'am, nowadays there is a boom in the machine learning algorithms, and we are just looking that the research is trending towards FPGA platform. So how we can like implement those machine learning
See, that machine learning language is again, see,
algorithms on FPGA platforms?
no, that machine learning language means na, like whatever the chips you see now, it is like previously whatever the chips we are doing na, we have to manually operate it. Machine learning means that you can say that is combination of hardware and software. Like I am designing a chip, but that chip will work automatically, means it will have a brain itself. Again, that means that is not like I can say in 5 or 10 minutes. Like machine learning language is again a big concept.
But means some key aspect which you would like to share on this, because machine learning is something which students are like going in the courses, and also if they want to transfer it into hardware domain, so how it would be, what challenges are required, or what things need to be known?
Well, I have not worked that machine learning language.
Okay.
So basically means I don't have that much of idea. But the thing is that like if you are going in India also, like that is not fully implemented. It's just like in growing stage.
Yes, definitely. Research is it's on the research.
It's a research stage. So if only I am working on that language, then only I can explain clearly.
Yeah, no, definitely we understand.
Okay, so students, any doubt related to in your classes? You are having certain problems, so you can ask which code or something, she can help you out in that as well. Okay, so they are fine today, so let me wind up.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Okay. So thank you, ma'am, for sharing your expertise in Verilog HDL with our participants. And special thanks to the founder, Mr. Deepak Kumar, with which means it wouldn't have been possible. I'm sure participants would have gained valuable insight into this VLSI domain. And we hope it was a positive experience for you as well.
Yeah.
So the information you shared was very enlightening. We learned about EDA playground, where they can try their Verilog or VHDL codes, and then they learned about the examples of half adder, and they could see the practice sessions as well. So it was very enlightening. I hope that we can have some future collaborations with you. So
okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Priyadarshini, ma'am.
Thank
It
you.
was really a very enlightening session, and students gained a lot.
Thanks.
Okay, looking for future collaborations as well.
Okay.
Chalo, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, students, faculty members. Ma'am, thank you. I'm ending this meeting now.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.